Sovereign Minds, the
podcast. In
September,
downtown Reading.
September 5th, 2025. We're down here in the epicenter of freedom at Mountaintop Media in downtown Reading. The title, I should say, and without further ado, the title is podcast number 152, Try for Double Jeopardy in the bonus round. And that'll... So
Wrong box. Pick again.
That's Price is Right. So what we want to talk about here is let me pull it up here. So Benny Johnson did an interview with, and the title of the article is with unhinged Geraldo Rivera.
Oh, yeah.
Who in total stunned silence after asking the most obvious question about illegal aliens. So go ahead and let's.
Yeah, you got to watch his expression.
Yeah, this is pretty funny actually. Go ahead.
What do you mean by they're not criminal aliens? Are you saying that they came here legally or illegally? Which is the answer?
The only crime the vast majority of these people have committed is coming here illegally. That's the only crime.
That makes
they're
them
not
criminal.
Tren de Agua. They're not MS-13. The vast majority of them. They commit fewer crimes than citizens do.
Now, mind you, Geraldo's a lawyer.
So do you understand respectfully, do you understand the definition of the definition of the word illegal? Because you just said they came here illegally. Do you understand what that means? That means they broke our laws. The laws on the books.
I am absolutely dismayed by the attempts to sow terror in the homes of Latino people.
Stop it for just a second. This is so typical of left-wing activist idiots. They never answer the question.
Of course not.
And they go into this big tirade about how they're so upset about, the wrong and the this and the that and unhinged is a great word, and they go on and on and on, and they never address the question. Go ahead, Aless.
Puerto Rican people. Puerto Rican people look just like Dominican people, just like Cuban people, just like more or less Venezuelan people. And yet Puerto Rican people are citizens. Puerto Rican people are being harassed by ICE. They're citizens, but they are also Latinos. There is a racial component. There's a racial component.
Puerto Rican people have American passports, Geraldo. What are you talking about?
And so now they carry their... Puerto Rican people have to carry their American passports to show you that they belong here. Do you carry your American passport, Benny? Do you?
I carry an ID everywhere I go. Yes, and a firearm. But is your contention that America is deporting Puerto Ricans back to America?
My contention, wise ass.
Can you give me an example of that, for instance? I can give you examples, Geraldo, of white. I can give you examples of white, Chinese, black, and Hispanic people that are all here illegally. And here's my question for you, Geraldo. My question for you is this. What do you mean by they're not criminal aliens? Are you saying that they came here legally or illegally? Which is the answer?
The only crime the vast majority of these people have committed is coming here illegally. That's the only crime.
That makes them criminal.
They're not Tren de Agua. They're not MS-13. The vast majority of them. They commit fewer crimes than citizens do.
So do you understand respectfully, do you understand the definition of the word illegal? Because you just said they came here illegally. Do you understand what that means? That means they broke our laws. The laws on the books.
So did the jaywalkers. Is enforcing. So did the jaywalkers. So did
but I don't understand. You just admitted their crimes. The vast majority of their crimes are they're here illegally. But by saying that, you're saying
in my day they weren't. First of all, to categorize what they are doing as a crime insults real criminals.
Unbelievable.
That insults real criminals.
Well,
You can't make that crap up. And I mean, I think Geraldo's losing a step here.
I think he got jabbed or something.
Something's going on.
Because he's having some issues. And Agua, I've never heard the gang Agua. I thought that was water.
No, it's Agua Tia. I don't remember the name of Tia. Never mind. It's but that is a name of a gang, and there's more than just Agua, So,
but the way he says
it's Trende Aragua is what it is.
Oh, that's not what he says.
Yeah,
but
the
he
gang
says Agua on there is all he says. So it's like
I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention to that part, but it's Trende Aragua is what he's talking about. Okay, so enough. We beat that to death. So let's go on to the next one. We've got other stuff to talk about here and more fish to fry. So this one, I wanted to let everybody know this is something new. This happened a couple of days ago, and we've got that Epstein thing is on the bottom there. It's kind of interesting. Now I also heard the other day that the DOJ is not going to release any of the names of the Republicans that are on the Epstein list. I don't think that's going to hold water because
I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, they're going to release them all anyway.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll see what happens. Let the chips fall where they may. But this Bitcoin thing, I thought this was very interesting on Don Jr. because this gal does an interview, and I heard this, and it's like, the reason that they started going into Bitcoin or actually creating this new Bitcoin that they've got going here. This it's called.
Well, it's not a new Bitcoin; it'd be cryptocurrency.
Well,
actually,
it's a new cryptocurrency. It's the world what is it? World Liberty Financial, and you can buy it it's on the NASDAQ. So there was a company created, but there's also a coin that you can buy on like Coinbase or whatever. But I thought it was very interesting is why they got into it because they weren't even into any of this stuff before.
But that's why Bitcoin. One of the premises behind Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency is the freedom of it because of what they would do to
he's going to go through the list here, and it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And that's why everybody goes to gold and silver, same thing, because it's
the freedom.
It's the freedom of somebody not being all over in your financial business. So go ahead and run it, Les.
Discuss this exciting debut and how it helps our economy. So pleased to welcome into Newsline today Donald Trump Jr. Hey, Don, good to have you with us today.
Good to be with you, Bianca. How are you?
Great. Watching your brother sort of around the globe and what you're doing in the Bitcoin and crypto arena is exciting. Today's truly historic, though, at the NASDAQ. Tell us about the launch and how it all is about the American economy and hardworking Americans finally getting a shot to really enter this exciting arena.
Yeah, it's 100% that. I mean, we're very excited about American Bitcoin launching on the NASDAQ. Obviously, crypto has been an incredible thing, and it felt like for such a long period of time that America was doing whatever they could to send it offshore. The reality is America has always led industry. It's always led finance. And we're just excited to make sure that we're keeping that leading edge in America as it relates to crypto. So we got into crypto not because we were early adapters, not because we understood something that no one else understood early. We got into it, Bianca, out of necessity. You saw the last few years, the insanity of the past administration. I mean, we were debanked. We had everything thrown at us. The amount of lawfare. Wake up one morning and 150 bank accounts just shut down. Not because there was anything wrong with the business, but because we weren't saying what the powers that be deemed acceptable. And so we saw this as a problem. We realized there was no democracy in finance. And, for many years, we were just, I guess the top of a big pyramid scheme. We didn't even realize it, but we could pick up the phone and we called someone who got financing because of who we are and because of what we knew. So many other great Americans, they just wake up one day, they couldn't start their business because, again, it didn't check the right woke boxes or whatever it is. So we used our soapbox to fight back. We used our, financial sophistication and our balance sheet to actually make sure that, A, America is leading in finance, but also that the nonsense that was happening to us, really so many other Americans who had no way of pushing back, that couldn't happen again. So Bitcoin is a store of value. It's an incredible thing.
It was frightening because if it could happen to you, debanking has been an issue that for a long time people had sought to find a way to raise the profile. There are people who can't get bank accounts, and whether they be in certain impoverished countries. I mean, this has been an issue, but when they start coming after people for political reasons, it is a different threshold. I know American Bitcoin is happening today, but your family also launched a new cryptocurrency, Don, World Liberty Financial. That was trading with its WFLI token. Instant success. There's critics out there. You hear them saying, well, how can the family be involved when your dad, the president, is working on, legislation and working to make it open to everybody? I know Eric said, I have nothing to do what's happening in Washington. How do you silence the critics? Because this really is about something that is good for Americans and, again, largely ignored by every other president before your dad.
100%. Well, my father saw what happened to our businesses. This happened when he wasn't president. So he understood what crypto meant, the freedom that it created, the democratization of finance that it offered, plus the trillions in future tax revenues that it meant to be leading in America. So this isn't something he did when he got into office. He campaigned on doing just this because he saw that. So yeah, Eric and I, we don't have policy on these things, but this is common sense. This is good for America. This is good for democracy. It's fundamentally important. I mean, if we had critics that said, maybe you shouldn't have tried to sue us into oblivion over nothing. Maybe you shouldn't have tried to jail us, and you could have kept your old systems the way they were. But again, Bianca, we did this out of necessity because we weren't just going to crawl into a corner and drop dead because the powers that be wanted us to give up. That's not what we do. We are innovators. We are business people. We have always been thought leaders in whatever space we were participating in, and this is no different. They're going to be critics because they understand that we're changing the game, not simply for us, we're changing it for every American and making it finally fair. And I know they have a problem with that. And some of the best stock traders in the world happen to be in Congress making $180,000 a year. It's sort of amazing that they amass these fortunes. They don't seem to have a lot of criticism.
That's good enough,
themselves.
Leslie. I want to clear a couple of things up. Number one, there's two things going on here. You've got the Bitcoin or the coin that you can buy as a crypto coin. That's the World Liberty Financial.
That's a meme coin.
That's a meme coin. And then there's also the American Bitcoin Company, which is trading on the NASDAQ under ABTC. So those are two different things. One is something you buy for a store of value, and the other is stock in the company. And guys can do
right. And a meme coin really isn't anything.
Well, no, this isn't a meme coin. There's a meme. They have
a meme coin too.
They have a meme coin.
Yeah. But
this is a cryptocurrency. This is this World Liberty Financial as you can buy actual.
Well, it's like an ETF.
Well, it's not an ETF. It's a cryptocurrency. Recently promoted by the Trump family, associated with the World Liberty Financial. It was launched, so it's a cryptocurrency. They also have Trump and Melanie meme coins, which are different.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are totally different.
And I want to clarify that's behind Bitcoin. That's been the whole premise from the very beginning. That's why the proof of work behind Bitcoin was for freedom. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you make, or all cryptocurrencies for that fact. It doesn't look at who you are or what your job is or what your status is. It has nothing to do with the bearing about you being able to purchase or hold or deal with any cryptocurrency. That was what was behind Bitcoin and what made Bitcoin different,
So
for everybody out there is it doesn't matter. That's why if you ask anybody in any country, what they come up with is freedom. It gives them the freedom to do what they need to do.
Because it takes you out of the financial system.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
It's decentralized, and that's what they're saying here.
Yeah.
This is and that's what, you can do your homework on this, but you can buy these tokens, and obviously you need a Coinbase wallet or a Ledger, a MetaMask, whatever you're using, and it supports the cryptocurrencies just like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin and all that. But we wanted to touch bases on this just to let you know that this was a new thing that just came out. All right, so let's go on to the next tab and see where we're at. All right.
We did this. Good old Hillary.
I did a story on this, gosh, 15 years ago talking about uranium-1, and now all of a sudden it's coming out.
It's coming back into the limelight, so to speak.
We
about what's actually going on with it.
We said this 15 years ago that Hillary was selling out to the Russians, and it's like on the playground. Anytime you're doing something wrong, you point at Johnny over there. He's the one that did it. This is the classic tactic of these Marxists. Anything you're doing, blame somebody else for doing what you're doing.
And all this time, they've, like anything, said, "Oh, it's just a conspiracy theorist." It's they're making all this stuff up. Well, no.
So let's play this little clip. It's not very long, and you'll get the idea what we're talking about.
Did Hillary Clinton give 20% of the United States supply of uranium to Russia for donations to the Clinton Foundation? And it flows out of the sale in 2010 of this company, Uranium One, which controlled about a fifth of America's uranium, to a Russian firm called Rosatom. By law, even though Uranium One was a Canadian firm, the U.S. part of this deal had to be approved by the Committee on Foreign Investment in the U.S., which is comprised of 9 agencies, including the State Department. And at that time, Hillary Clinton was the boss there. Anderson?
So, a lot of this was looked at during the campaign. Why is it coming up back now again? There were also all the donations to the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. It was all talked about before. But the Hill newspaper, which reports on a lot of things with the government here, came out with a report showing the FBI was investigating a subsidiary of Rosatom for possible racketeering, money laundering, bribes, all aimed at giving the Russian government more influence over the U.S. nuclear industry while this deal was being approved. So some members of Congress want to know why they weren't told about all of this. And furthermore, the Hill says the Russians were channeling millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation at the same time, raising the question, especially for some Republicans, did Hillary Clinton help this deal along in any fashion?
Are you kidding me? No. This is when she was Secretary of State. So, and it might not have been 15 years ago, but boy, the way the news cycle's been, it sure does seem like 15 years ago.
It's been a while, though.
So I don't know what the dates are exactly, but that says 2010 when the documents were signed. But, this goes way back. I mean, I don't, hold it right there. We got, let's see, Surprise took no action, $500,000 Russian deal. See, this is October of 2017 in that particular one. So I know it goes farther back than 2020.
Again, you get Clinton. You hear Clinton's name all over this. In the beginning, we put Clinton's name on it, and no, she wouldn't be involved.
And the media just covered it up.
Yep.
And just like they've done so many other things, they just black it out and then tell everybody that talks about it they're a conspiracy theorist and they shouldn't give them no credibility.
All that stuff's coming true. So anyway.
All right, so let's move on here to. This is incredible, and you've probably seen a bunch of these if you've been paying attention at all. To the congressional hearings here, the Senate hearings, I think it is. And this is unbelievable. But there's about 4 or 5 clips in here.
Easy,
and we want to play some of them because some of them are just like ridiculous. And then we'll go through at the end, and we had a list of all the people that were taking bribes, and then we'll refer to the list
and the amount of money that they got and everything.
Yeah, we don't have the totals, but it's substantial. So go ahead and let's go down one.
This may be my favorite photo ever, though. Look at him lean back. This must have been right after he said, America's the most unhealthy country and I should start firing people, because look at those reactions.
He should have the other hand up too, and he could say, I'm not a crook.
Yeah.
I
don't care what you say. He's all over this vaccines and the health issues and everything. He is all over it and bringing it all out in the open, that's for sure.
So they're cleaning house at the CDC. So let's go ahead and start with this one, and they're all short clips.
CDC failed their responsibility miserably during COVID, when its disastrous and nonsensical policies destroyed small businesses, violated civil liberties, closed our schools, caused generational damage in doing so, massed infants with no science, and heightened economic inequality. And yet all those oppressive and unscientific interventions failed to do anything about the disease itself. America is home to 4.2% of the world's population, yet we had nearly 20% of the COVID deaths. We literally did worse than any country in the world. And the people at CDC who oversaw that process, who put masks on our children, who closed our schools, are the people who will be leaving. CDC failed that responsibility.
Stop. No, I want to point something. I want to point something out. The woman off
I was going to say that.
Greg Gutfeld did a thing on it. Oh, look at she's in love with Robert Kennedy. And then he found out it's his daughter. But
oh, really?
That's his daughter. Which I you can tell she's admiring her dad. He's standing up, and I mean you can tell. It's just like she's pretty proud of her pop. So,
but if you watch the black man off to the right, he doesn't he's
pretty stone-faced.
Yeah, he's pretty stone-faced. He's like, wow, okay.
So, what's this one we've got? This is another 110. Let's go with this one and see where
it's increasing. And all of the arguments this morning, I got the latest numbers from CDC that 76.4% of Americans now have a chronic disease.
That's staggering.
When my uncle was president, it was 11%. 1950, it was 3%. Today, it's 76.4%. 8 out of 10 of our kids cannot qualify for military service. This is a national security issue. When my uncle was president, we spent 0 on chronic disease. Today, we spend $1.3 trillion. It's the biggest cause. It's increasing. And all of the arguments that Republicans and Democrats have about single payer, Obamacare, or the various ways of allocate the health dollars, they're all like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. If we don't end this chronic disease, we are the sickest country in the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC. They did not do their job. This was their job to keep us healthy.
Thank you,
and I need to fire some of those people to make sure this doesn't happen again.
What's interesting is that now when we go through and we listen to the senators, after you just heard that, if that's true, okay, and these guys are attacking him for trying to clean this up, it tells you what kind of POSs these.
Yeah, they try to turn it around and say, oh, they're taking Medicaid away from people.
My God,
and
it's so stupid.
Going to kick people out in the streets, basically. You're not going to get any health care.
These people are evil. They really are. They're evil, paid off. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. But if that's true, what he's saying, these statistics, that this is a problem, and it's going to get worse. So this is mind-boggling. Let's hope that he's wrong about some of that. Anyway, let's go to the next clip here, Leslie. Yeah, there you go. Now here's one. Now you'll notice this is Mr. Bennett, and let's see what Mr. Bennett has to say.
mRNA vaccine. Are you aware that one of the people you put on the panel, Dr. Robert Malone, claimed that the commonly used mRNA vaccine, quote, causes a form of AIDS and can damage children's, quote, brains, their heart, their immune system, and their ability to have children in the future? Yes or no, Mr. Kennedy?
And Dr. Malone is one of the inventors.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Were you aware that he had that view when you appointed him to this panel?
Dr. Malone is one of the inventors. As I said, Dr. Malone is one of the inventors of the mRNA vaccine, so he knows a lot more about it than I do.
Mr. Chairman, that statement is not true that Dr. Malone made. Are you aware
this is the classic. This is the classic set. Go ahead and stop it there.
Claim that
this is the classic. Have you stopped beating your wife? You know, if you say yes, then you were beating her before. If you say no, that means you're still doing it. You know, it's just complete BS. Now that's Bennett. All right, let's go down. And he's, Malone is one of the guys that helped invent this thing. And
well, yeah, he's the one with the mRNA.
All right. So this is another clip with Bennett, I think, and go ahead and play this.
Today, what I said was,
All the evidence is transparent for the first time in history, and you were never there complaining when the pharmaceutical companies were picking those people and then running their products through with no safety testing.
You can characterize it any way you want. I quoted them today. What I said was accurate. What you said were lies. You described people
Senator,
moving the Titanic.
Senator, are you saying that the mRNA vaccine has never been associated with myocarditis or pericarditis in teenagers?
I am simply.
Is that what you're trying to tell us?
I am simply trying to say that the people that you have put on that panel, after firing the entire.
You're evading the question.
No, I'm asking the questions here,
You're
Mr.
evading
Kennedy.
that question.
I'm asking the questions,
I
Mr.
asked
Kennedy.
you a question.
I'm asking the questions for Mr. Kennedy on behalf of parents and schools
Really?
and teachers all over the United States.
Goes right to the
America
playbook.
Who deserve so much better than your leadership.
Nobody's buying this crap anymore.
About, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time in the history of that agency.
Hopefully.
Well, let's go to the next one.
Yeah, they're just mad because all their people got fired.
Now, this is Johnson, and he gives Kennedy some time, and he starts. Yeah, go ahead and play this.
Do you want to just talk about what you've witnessed in terms of the capture of the agencies that you're now in charge of, the corruption of science, which I believe you just said, that is almost your number one goal, right, is try to bring integrity and credibility back to science, which has been corrupted by the people who pay for it, by federal health agencies being captured by pharmaceutical industries, by big pharma, by big food. Just, I want to give you, I'm sorry, just the last minute to, first of all, defend yourself, but talk about the corruption of science that you're having to deal with and trying to correct.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just tell you one example, and I could sit here and give you thousands. But in 2002, CDC did an internal study of Atlanta and Fulton County, Georgia children, and looked at children who got the MMR vaccine on time and compared those to kids who got them later. So in other words, kids who got them before 36 months and kids who got them afterward. The data from that study showed that black boys who got the vaccine on time had a 260% greater chance of getting an autism diagnosis than children who waited. The chief scientist on that, Dr. William Thompson, the senior vaccine safety scientist at CDC, was ordered to come into a room with 4 other co-authors by his boss, Frank DiStefano, who's the head of the immunization safety branch, and ordered to destroy that data. And then they published it without that fact. So you know that story, I know that story, and you know of hundreds of stories like that. It happens all the time. We are being lied to by these agencies, and we're going to change that right now.
Yeah, let's go. So I hat tip to Vigilant Fox, who has broken, obviously watched the whole hearing and has taken out some of the more.
Yeah, because it's a couple hours long, I think, if not more.
So let's go down a little more here. Oh no, let's go back. We're still. Yeah, All right. I want to go. There's a couple more there that I want to look at before we get to the end. That's this one. Let's talk about. Yeah, let's do the
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren here.
Made when you were looking to get confirmed in this journey. What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like this.
And that is, you promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy
the
free.
question is everyone who wants it. That was your promise.
No, I
Mr.
didn't.
Kennedy,
I
not
never
mine.
promised that I was going to
You didn't
recommend
promise-
products with which
I'm
there is no
sorry.
indication.
When you said,
And I know you've
vaccines
taken
were working for
$855,000 from
someone,
pharmaceutical
I'm not going to take them
companies,
away.
Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying?
No, but she should have.
When you said that, because you are the one who said
Should
you
say,
would not
paid
take
off.
them away.
Yeah.
Now, Senator
off.
Kennedy,
I'm not taking
Accuse
them away
everybody
from
of
it.
what you're doing.
You want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Senator,
Is that what you want?
Let's go to the next.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Let's go to the next one. I think there's one more that I want to capture here. Yeah, this one's pretty good with Bernie, but it's the next one I really want to look at. So, yeah, let's do this one.
It'll be hard to see from there. I can barely read it. This is the current CDC recommendations for vaccines for children.
This is sickening.
On day number 1, they get their first jab, a hepatitis vaccine. By the time they're 18 months, they've had 18 jabs. By the time they get to be able to vote, they have 76 jabs. Behind me, yeah, I know it's going to be hard to see from there. I can barely read it. This is the current CDC recommendations for vaccines for children. On day number 1, they get their first jab, a hepatitis vaccine. By the time they're 18 months, they've had 18 jabs. By the time they get to be able to vote, they have 76 jabs.
Yeah, I think you got to stop it. Well, I think there's one more. You know, the Bernie Sanders one. You know, he accidentally points out that everybody's getting bribed. You know, you'll see that one a lot.
Yeah, so it's okay because everybody's getting bribed.
Yeah, so let's play that one. Yeah, that one.
They're exempt from. We don't understand the risk profile because vaccines are the only medical intervention, medical device, or pharmaceutical drug that are exempt from pre-licensing safety studies. And so there are 2 hepatitis vaccines, and one of them had a safety study that lasted for 4 days on 143 kids for a product that's going to be given to 76 million kids. The risk profile prior to the introduction of the vaccine, the risk of a baby dying from hepatitis B was 1 in 7 million. That means you need to give 7 million hepatitis B vaccines to prevent 1 death. We don't understand the risk profile.
Yeah, that's pretty good right there. Yeah. So let's move on to the next.
Totally crazy stuff.
Well, so this one here.
This is where they
click on that and blow it up. So we can get some of the names. So we've got this comes from the data.
Top of the list is Bernie Sanders.
But I want to let everybody know this comes from opensecrets.org, and you can go there and you can pull this list up if you want to take the time. But yeah, Sanders, Warren, Bennett, Kane, I mean, gee, aren't they the same guys that were just yelling the loudest about the problem? Maybe they're not getting any money from farm.
That wouldn't make any difference in what happened and how it happened and all of that, did it?
Yeah, no. Nobody cares. It's all good. So what we're saying is these corrupt pieces of garbage need to be, I mean, in my opinion,
Yeah, all it came down to was
not just voted out.
Yeah, that as long as they could collect their money, everything was good.
They're still doing it. They're still doing it.
Well, that's true. They are.
They're still doing it. Look at what they're doing.
At the expense of our children and
they
other
don't care.
people. Yeah.
They don't care.
But other people.
All right, so this is a little short clip.
Yeah,
and then
this is a timeline about the vaccines, which is really scary when you stop and think about where we started and where we are now.
Go ahead. Yeah, I don't know who said it. That's it, Leslie. I don't know who said it, but if you make crime legal, then there's no criminals. That's exactly what they've done. Those pompous assholes up there at the Senate attacking somebody who's trying to fix the problem. They're the criminals, but because they made it legal that the drug companies don't have any liability, they make it legal they don't have to do the testing, and they make it legal that they can do all these unethical things. They make it legal that they can all be bribed through this money chain. That means they're not criminals, right?
Must have been somebody like Geraldo.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they did.
Yeah, is commit a crime so that
they're not really criminals.
They're like
but so did all the jaywalkers created a crime too.
The best one was are you going to deport Puerto Ricans back to America?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
A freaking moron. All right, well, I guess that's it for the show. I don't think we have anything else. I don't know if I mentioned it September 5th, 2025. I think I did at the beginning, but we were pretty hyped up about this. But as always, government is not reason, is not eloquence. It is force, and force like fire is a dangerous servant and a fearful master.
And we'll see you next time.
On the flip.